Villa Cipressi is a magnificent collection of buildings and gardens that are steeped in rich historical significance. Constructed between 1400 and 1800, the property has been owned by various noble families, each of whom has left their own unique imprint on its character. Among these notable proprietors were the Serponti family, who settled here after fleeing from the Comacchina island, which was destroyed by the people of Como in 1169. Later, in the late 18th century, it was owned by Baron Isambard, who served as the director of Milan's mint. Villa Cipressi has served as a hotel throughout its history, and in 1838, Emperor Ferdinand I of Austria and his family were among the distinguished guests who stayed there. The Andreossi family took over the property later on, and were particularly interested in its gardens, while the English knightly family of Sultan and Editor Achame also owned the property after the Andreossis. In 1980, the people and friends of Varenna purchased the villa through voluntary public subscription. Today, the property is primarily owned by the municipality of Varenna and other public corporations, with management handled by our collection hotels. This group oversaw extensive renovations to the villa, ensuring that the existing architectural features were preserved, while introducing modern functionality. Visitors to Villa Cipressi can explore its stunning gardens, which are divided into several terraces and boast a variety of exotic plants and trees. The botanical garden is a beautiful and tranquil oasis that spans over 10,000 square meters. The garden is home to a vast array of exotic and rare plant species, including palms, cycads, camellias, azaleas, rhododendrons, and many others. In addition, the name of Villa Cipressi originates from the beautiful and ancient cypress trees that can still be found in its gardens. The garden is divided into several different areas, each of which is dedicated to a different type of plant, and the history of the country can be experienced through the expression of this richly abundant biodiversity. The garden contains winding paths, stone steps, and terraces that offer stunning views of Lake Como and the surrounding mountains. Strolling along one of the lower tiers of the garden, you pass by walls covered in wisteria vines. On the other side are stunning views of the lake. Taking a leisurely stroll along the paths along the gardens, you are surrounded by beautiful views of the lake and the silhouettes of mountains along the horizon in the distance. The setting is quite spectacular and looks like a painting or postcard. In addition, the tiered garden is a unique experience, providing multiple walkways along the hillside for a variety of different landscapes in a relatively small footprint. Wisteria is typically in bloom in Lake Como in late April or early May, depending on the weather conditions. During this time, the plant is covered in clusters of fragrant flowers that range in color from white to pink to purple, creating a beautiful and memorable sight for visitors and locals alike. The wisteria path at Villa Cipressi is particularly noteworthy for its stunning display of the flowers along the winding walkway beside Lake Como. The scenery is truly stunning, and there are benches along the way to sit and take in the setting. As you meander down the ramps and steps, you feel as if you are in some medieval, enchanted garden. And it is no wonder that Villa Cipressi and these gardens have been used as a backdrop for many elegant weddings. The paths are well maintained, making the walk through the gardens pleasant and relaxing. The gardens are open starting between 9 and 10 a.m., depending on the month, and stay open until 6 to 8 p.m., again depending on what month you are visiting. The views are particularly wonderful if you're able to be there as the sun sets. And in addition to the multitude of plants and gardens, there are fun little alcoves and statues to admire throughout the property. Although there is wisteria all over Lake Como in Italy, it was not originally native to the area. Legend has it that an Englishman named Captain Wellbank introduced the first wisteria to Europe in 1816. During a Chinese dinner party, he was awestruck by the beauty of a pergola adorned with blooming wisteria, which the Chinese called zi teng, or blue vine. He convinced the Chinese dealer to gift him some seedlings, which he then brought back to England. In 1819, the wisteria bloomed for the first time in England, and quickly spread throughout Europe. In Italy, wisteria has been known since 1840, and it has become a symbolic plant throughout the Lake Como region. the Botanical Garden Walk meanders all the way down to the edge of the lake. And you can actually walk out and down a few steps to get right down to the water. Centuries ago, Varenna was a bustling hub of activity, where stoneworkers crafted black marble, coopers fashioned barrels from the trees in the vicinity, and fishermen cast their nets for sardines. Today, the village exudes a serene tranquility as one of the most relaxing and picturesque towns on Lake Como. We walk back up the steps to the pathway to continue our exploration of the botanical gardens. Strolling back up the tiered pathways, we find a number of additional gardens with a wide variety of plants, including trees, shrubs, flowers, and herbs. In addition to the famous wisteria, there are camellias, azaleas, hydrangeas, roses, and much more. We also found agave and various cacti along the walk. All in all, the botanical gardens at Villa Cipressi is a scenic and relaxing venue, and well worth the price of admission. We hope you enjoyed this video. Let us know if you have visited, have any fun facts, or recommendations to share with other viewers. As usual, thank you for watching. Please like, follow, and subscribe.